EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw. Because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing is Gomez. From the gun, he'll throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Gomez throwing again. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
58, come on. I got it. Watch twist. Kill.
To throw on 3rd down, Gomez. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. 1st quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. Now they're making a real 1st quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And he's got this down to the 35. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On the set. 53, Mike. Here we go. Here we go.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson is going to fire one, and this is caught inside the 5. That goes for a gain of 31.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Kelly to try to punch it in. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically they script.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Gomez. He sets up the screen to Jones. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Flushed out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Jonathan Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Safety's creeping. Check 4. Check 3.
Jones. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Gomez, operating from the gun. Flush to his right. And a loose football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
They'll run on first down. Callan might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. The 40, 20, 10. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Jackson now. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, 79 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Gomez on first down, escaping the pressure right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he comes back with one complete.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 58 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Check 24. Watch 24. Joker. Back.
On 3rd down, Kelly. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
They're on the 23-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Gomez now to throw again. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Gomez eluding the pressure right. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Riley. That's good for 28 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Check hot route. Hot route. Leo. Check. Fresno. Kill.
Throwing is Gomez. On 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
31's the mic. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball. 31's the mic. Put some
This time, Jackson will throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out there.
And he'll give it here to his running back. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Kelly. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Ship.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, it's Kelly. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. This is Kelly. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. The 20. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. A big play there on the option. 47 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. He'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Hatch it. Jam it. Sponge. No. Shift. Go, shift. Watch the eye.
Again, it's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Gomez. From the gun, he'll throw. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Makes it 3rd and 3.
Set, back, fan read. Check, 53's mine. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Forced out to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
All day, every day, any day. 25, check 25, check 25. Hey, weapon. Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Y'all know, man.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Here's Gomez to throw on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. but a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Looking to throw. Gomez. Dancing to his left. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Gomez operating from the gun. Complete to Jones.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd and 1. Escaping the pressure right. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
But no takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. Gomez now. From the gun, he'll throw. Binds under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And again this time to the tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Jackson steps away to his left. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long.
Tighten up. Check. Check the call.
From the gun, Gomez. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
40, Mike, 40. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no, switch the mic right here. We go Mike 40, Mike 40. Cut. Check 31.
Throwing is Gomez. Operating from the gun. Open man is Cameron Batson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Now Gomez. Throwing on 4th down. Being chased out left. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there. But let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's got his man, it's Andrews. 25 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And on the ground they go with the running back. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. He pitches it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Got it. 53. Check 53. It's been a long day for you. Rush in. Rush in.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down.